Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a blessed Sunday. And in the news this morning, 50-year-old British national arrested at airport after cops seize cocaine. A British national, 50-year-old Nigel Manning, was arrested at the Saxor International Airport in Montego Bay, St. James on Thursday, March 13, following an attempt to smuggle cocaine. The development came just one day after detectives at the Firearms and the Narcotics Investigation Division arrested two other British nationals for the same offense at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston. Manning, who is of a Northumberland address in London, England, was subsequently charged on Friday, March 14, with a possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, attempting to export cocaine, and a conspiracy. Reports are that about 3:20 p.m., the FNID personnel were conducting a security screening at the facility for passengers boarding a flight destined for the London Gatwick Airport. During the screening, Manning's actions aroused the suspicion among the lawmen. A subsequent search of his luggage revealed several frozen coconuts containing approximately 4 kilograms or 9 pounds of cocaine. The drug has an estimated street value of £128,000 or 26 million Jamaican dollars. The previous day on March 12, 51-year-old Derek Winston and 41-year-old Lisa Wood, both of Sandway Road, Orrington in England, were arrested and charged with multiple offenses after attempting to smuggle over 30 pounds of cocaine. Winston and Wood are awaiting their day in court to answer to charges of possession of cocaine, dealing in cocaine, and attempting to export cocaine. Measures in place for Leeds primary students to sit PEP exam despite a fire disruption. Emergency measures have been implemented to ensure grade 6 students at Leeds Primary and Infant School in St. Elizabeth can sit their primary exit profile assessment next week without being inconvenient. The move follows a fire at the school on Sunday night that damaged significant sections of the facility. Minister of Education Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, who toured the school on Thursday, commended the leadership for ensuring the PEP exam will not be affected. The grade 6 students are being accommodated in the infant department, where they have been preparing for the performance task test on March 19. The Education Minister says the ministry has committed to providing immediate support through emergency procurement to retrofit exam rooms in another section of the school for solar power as the property remains without electricity. The fire, which caused millions of dollars in damage, destroyed critical sections of the school, including the office, staff room, and a recently refurbished library. As a result, students have transitioned to online classes. Recognizing that many students lack devices and internet access, the ministry collaborated with eLearning Jamaica and the Flow Foundation to bridge the gap. 48-hour curfew imposed in sections of Oracabessa St. Mary. A 48-hour curfew has been imposed in sections of Marson Town and Tankley, Oracabessa St. Mary in response to increasing criminal activities in the area. The curfew took effect at 6 p.m. Friday and will continue until 6 p.m. Sunday. The police say the decision to impose the security measure is based on recent shootings and intelligence reports pertaining to criminal activities, including gang-related violence that threaten public safety. Residents are being urged to comply with the curfew regulations and to cooperate with the security personnel to ensure peace and stability in the affected communities. Curfews don't stop murders. Mitchell challenges police's claim on the effectiveness of crime-fighting strategy. Mayor of Mandeville Donovan Mitchell has reiterated his opposition to the imposition of curfews as a crime-fighting tool, despite claims by the police that the measure causes a reduction in major crimes. I know personally that curfews don't stop murders. There was a time in a certain community in which I am the counselor, a curfew was on, and it was 10 minutes to 12 in the daylight, and the 2 persons were murdered at their house. So curfew really don't stop murders, Mitchell said on Wednesday at a town hall meeting at the Trinity Baptist Church in Poros. The meeting was organized by the Poros Police to discuss the security concerns, including the continuous imposition of curfews over the past 6 months, with residents calling for a lifting of the measure. One vendor told the meeting that her business has declined since the imposition of the first curfew last October. "I am a small business owner. I run a soup business. I come out at 9 in the morning and prepare soup. By the time curfew comes at 6:45 p.m., what can I make? I cannot make nothing from that. Sometimes the curfew is 6:30 p.m. Remember, people have to work," said the woman, who did not give her name. "What can I make from my small business when there is a curfew? I have 3 children to take care of. I pay my bills from my small business. There's a curfew from October until now. I make a pot of soup, it not sell. May have to dash it away. It's after 6 p.m. I get to really sell my chicken and food because people are at work during the day. We are suffering in Poros from the curfew," the woman added. That opposition was shared by the Mandeville mayor, who urged the police to respect the livelihood of the citizens. "What we need to do is to sit with the people and to look how best we can help to alleviate some of the problems," said Mitchell. "I can tell the Child Protection and Family Services Agency and the Restorative Justice Administrators that if this thing continues, then they will get a whole lot more calls because there is no money to feed the children. Husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend are fight because there is no money to pay the bills," added Mitchell. But Manchester Police Operations Officer, Deputy Superintendent Lohas Daniels, defended the crime-fighting measures. "I know the constraint the curfew can have and the economic effect on businesses as also persons' movement, but on a utilitarian approach, what would you prefer, the loss of life or the increase in profit? You have to be realistic," said Daniels. "A portion of the parish is under curfew, and we are looking into it and to relax some of the areas in this parish and to include Poros. This is a measure used to reduce the crime or to control crime, and it is working. Since the start of the year, we have seen a 40% reduction in criminal activity in this parish." I will end by saying that by next week, I will go in collaboration with the management team from the Manchester Division, and you will all get answers, added Daniels. That comment provoked the ire of many of the residents in the meeting, which descended into chaos. Senior Parish Judge for Manchester, Michelle Salmon, was quickly escorted out of the church hall by a police team, while Member of Parliament for Manchester Southern, Robert Chin, also left quickly. Following the uproar, the residents who remained continued to raise concerns over the curfew during a question and answer session. Opposition praised for proposal to phase out the asset tax. Economist Keenan Faulkner says a proposal by the parliamentary opposition to phase out the asset tax that commercial banks are required to pay could significantly help to drive down interest rates. Mr. Faulkner believes the plan will be received favorably by the financial sector.
On the point of the asset tax, I think that will now be received very favorably by the financial sector. They have been complaining about it for a while because it decapitalizes the sector. And if you want to grow, and it appears that both the PNP and JLP have recognized that the private sector needs to be empowered to grow the economy, then freeing up that extra capital by now phasing out the asset tax over time is now going to allow that capital to be deployed in more growth-enhancing and revenue-generating activities. And that will ultimately now help to bring interest rates down over time. Difficult to quantify the specific cost for that, and I think that might be a drawback of the presentation. It would have been useful to benefit from some of the numbers that we hear in terms of how much this is expected to cost the government. But the overall proposal is just really in line with making it easier for MSMEs that are at the early stage to not have to worry about another regulatory or tax burden. You know, it's not just even an MSME thing. Many of the businesses have been complaining about that.
Guys, thanks for watching. Please join us this afternoon at 2 p.m. for another news update.